Regardless of when you're watching this video, I hope you're having a great day. My philosophy has been for many years now, if you have a good day, you're being average. And let's face it, our days now are anything but what we've considered being average. Are you working from home like most of us? Well, guess what? The challenge is definitely there to be working from home. Most of the time when we've worked from home in the past, we've been more productive. Why do you think that is? Well, there's a number of interruptions at work that happen. And, somebody stopping by, hey, have you got a minute? You stop for a cup of coffee, anything at all. And when you work from home, let's face it, you don't have those. You don't have any kids, you don't have any spouse, you don't have any roommates, but now you do. And there's been a lot of emphasis in the last week or so, 2 weeks, that I've watched on a lot of television and a lot of short videos. People are talking about how to work with your kids, and that's important. Don't forget about yourself. You still have to be productive at whatever you're trying to do. If you're not an essential employee and you're going to work and you're working out of your home, as many of us are, it is posing a challenge on many ways. It is our new normal. And when we come out of this pandemic, it is quite possible that we may be working from home a lot more. That's critical. I know around here, because I live in the Washington, D.C. area, nobody's on the roads. We don't even have traffic jams that much right now. But let's look at some of the other factors. Our new normal is changing us. So I've got 5 tips for you that I want to share with you quickly here in the next few minutes that you can do starting tomorrow to become more productive during your workday. Oh, and by the way, you'll still have time for the kids, the spouse, the dog, and getting things done. So let's take a look at some of the thoughts here. Number 1, you need to have a daily plan. That daily plan includes scheduling things. Now, we already schedule our meetings, our conference calls, things like that. No doubt, that works. But let's also think about scheduling specific time to work on a task or a project. Think in chunks of time. Block out 30, 45, 60, maybe as much as 90 minutes that you are going to block and work on a specific item. Put that in your calendar and block it out. Schedule it. Now, that might even include some personal things too, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. Second thing we want you to do is have a daily goals sheet. That's right, a daily goals sheet, not a to-do list. Your to-do list is that item that really is a living, breathing thing that sticks with us. And if we try to look at that, that can be extremely overwhelming. If we've gone through our goal setting processes in the past, most of us have heard of the SMART term: specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable. I use trackable. Some people use timely. That's a SMART goal. It should be a goal that we can go for and build and have a deadline for. That's great. We have long-term, we have mid-range, we have short-term. Now we're going to think it down even more, and we're going to get it to micro time. One day. Write down the 3, 4, or 5 items that you're going to want to get done that day. Now, if you get it done, what you're going to do with everything you get done, you're going to put it on an accomplishments log. That accomplishments log is for your own good. Share it with your spouse. Get your spouse to do the same thing so you guys can share at the end of the day what you got accomplished so that you're part of each other's lives in that aspect. Now, guess what? When you first start doing this, you're probably not going to get everything done that you want to get done. Do not consider yourself a failure. Please, you may fail at something, but that does not mean you are a failure. That's a critical part. We need to pat ourselves on the back. Now, I am as guilty as anybody else out here. I have a hard time ever since college to pat myself on the back and say I got something done. I always think I could do better. Well, guess what? Now we've got to start patting ourselves on the back. Number 3 is to set us up with a designated office space. Now, these are in no particular order, but set yourself up with a designated office space. For me, when I started working from home over 20 years ago in the mortgage banking industry, it basically meant I took a piece of 4x8 sheet of plywood, cut it down, put it on some cinder blocks, and set a telephone there and a laptop. That was about it. Well, over the years, I've evolved a little bit. I've gotten a space, and it's much more functional. Now, I've worked from home for a long time. You may not have, maybe one day a week, and that's okay. But now you're working from home a lot. We need to designate an area for you. whether it's a dining room table, a kitchen table, or a cardboard table set up in your bedroom. Wherever you've got that area, that needs to be zoned clearly as mom or dad's office area, and it's your workspace. Now, it can be broken down and changed in the evening, but during the day, it needs to be marked office. And everybody in the home needs to be respectful of that. That's important. The fourth thing, and I'm going to tie this back to number one a little bit, is scheduling breaks. Now, I said earlier, thinking 30, 60, 45, 30, 45, 60, or 90-minute chunks. Well, that's really good. The challenge is about every 45 to 65 minutes, you need to physically get up out of your seat, stand up, shake it off, walk around, do something, even if it's for only 2, 3, 5 minutes. Because if you don't, stagnant hypoxia will set in. And that's not good, because then our brain does not function. It does not begin to work. We're not as clear-headed. There's a phrase that's going around that I've heard recently, and I started to chuckle at it, and it says, sitting is the new smoking. Our bodies were not designed to sit in a chair like this all day. We need to get up. We need to move. About once an hour, you need to get up. Schedule your breaks, get out there, do something. Maybe now's the time where you take a break at a point and you go work with the kids. You play with the kids. You help the kid do some schoolwork. Whatever it happens to be, take the dog for a walk. A lot of times I'll come down to my office 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and I will work from my basement office till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Then I'll go take the dog for a 2-mile walk. It refreshes my brain. I come back and I'm more functional. Those are the things we start to think about what we can do and get it done. Your eyes also need a break. When we've been staring at a screen for so long, our blink time changes. Our eyes dry out. We start to squint. That makes us much more tired. And if we're sitting all the time, the stagnant hypoxia sets in. And we wonder why, at the end of the day, we're just so exhausted and our fuse is so short. Take those breaks multiple times through a day. The last thing sounds very simple, and it is. When you eat, get out of your office. I've been telling folks to do this for years at their desks at work. No different here. We need to change the distraction. Eat your meal somewhere else. Make sure you plan a meal. Sit down, eat it. Maybe it's a break time that you're working with your spouse and you can sit down there, or sit down with the kids and have lunch as a family together. There's so many ways to work this so you're still productive and getting things done. Guys, as I started off saying, good days are for average people. You're not average. So I want you to get out of here and think about what you can do, how you can start to improve yourselves. My name is Gregory, and you can find me at teamsrock.com. And I work with organizations to build teamwork, leadership, and customer service. I hope you're having an exceptional day, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.